Crispy, I have a question for you.
Shoot.
Do you know how in life everyone at some point likes to use pens to write things down?
Yes.
Imagine if you had a pen and just as it was running out, instead of just replacing it, you could split it. And then you could have two pens at the same time, both still doing the same job. How cool would that be?
That's an interesting hypothetical. I'm going to throw one back at you.
Okay.
Okay, let's say that there are 40 passengers on a plane and they all believe in bi-generation and that plane crashes. Is it really that much of a loss?
That might be the darkest intro we've ever had. What on earth? I make a joke about stationery and then you're going about planes crashing. What the hell, man? Oh my gosh. You're psychotic.
Hello and welcome back to Who's There, a Doctor Who podcast. My name is Crispy, his name is Troy, and we're the hotline that accepts your calls from anywhere in time and space. Today we're talking about bi-generation, and I apologise for my comments in the intro section. That was pretty unhinged.
Yeah, you have to do a YouTuber apology for that one, buddy.
Yeah, there was a severe lapse in judgment for that one.
Listen, there's a bed right next to you. Sit on it cross-legged and do a very deep sigh, and then we'll forgive you.
And that's it.
You're not
that's
sat
all
on the
I
bed,
need to
it doesn't
do.
work.
Nah, I can't get up out of my seat. It's too comfy.
He's actually glued to it, ladies and gentlemen. He's stuck to that seat.
Yeah, exactly. The grind is real. The grind is real. Much like bi-generation is real, apparently. It's a thing.
It is.
It's a thing that's happening right now.
Today,
So, what's happening?
we're talking about bi-generation. We're not talking about planes, okay? All right, because if we did, that idea would crash and burn. We are talking instead about bi-generation. You're holding your face very well there, because I felt like that was a bit far myself. I'm trying to get in the same boat as you. We're even now, and we're moving on, everyone, okay? We're all adults here, except those of you who aren't, but you're all mature. We're all mature people, okay?
Hopefully.
Apart from you, but,
Thank you.
99%'s close enough. So, I don't know why I'm saying that. I'm the less mature one, clearly. I have Sonic and Shadow plushies on my bed. So, big
I have
kid.
a Dalek right here.
I have a Sonic in my hands that I've been fiddling with for the last 40 minutes in the last recording. I still got it in my hand now.
Whoa!
Stop! You need to stop. You need to stop. You need to take a breath.
Wowee. Oh,
Welcome to Who's There After Hours, ladies and gentlemen. So, today we are taking your calls from anywhere in time and space, but this time it's about bi-generation, which was the hot new version of regeneration that happened in 2023 special The Giggle, which the time this episode goes out will be just over 2 months ago, which is wild. We're old.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. We're getting closer to season 1, though. I can't wait for the first series of my favourite show.
I can't wait for the very first episode of Doctor Who, man. It's going to be so good. We do not sound bitter at all.
Can we please, when we're leading up to it, be like, I'm so excited for the first episode of Doctor Who?
We have to. That'll be the intro. That'll be the intro in like our season 1 predictions video or something. Don't worry.
Brilliant.
But, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to start with a very quick mini bit of promotion for the podcast, but it's mainly for you, because I said this at the end of last episode and I should have said it at the start. If you do enjoy these episodes and you want to take part in them going forward, we're about to take our first caller, and that could be you next time, because we post on the YouTube community channel, we post on the tab, on our YouTube channel, the Twitter, the Instagram, and in our Discord server. Links to all of them are in the description on YouTube and via our Linktree, linktree.com/who'stheredw. But we post whenever a new one goes out, and it will give you the topic. Submit your calls and let us know what you think. And if you're ever not sure and you're on the SpeakPipe website, it does say on the website what the current call-in topic is. So if you're ever confused and you click on an old link, it'll still tell you on there what the current one is. So get in there, submit your calls whenever the topic is. We change it about twice a week at the minute, so we're trying to backlog for future episodes. So it will be about that often, maybe a little less at times. But there you go. Submit your calls is what we're trying to say. We want all of you to talk. I don't want it to be the Beast Boss every week. I don't know why, taking the mick out of the Beast Boss is becoming a regular joke. I love you, man. I really do. So
the Beast Boss is the best.
Exactly. Let's just take our first caller and see what people have to say about bi-generation, Crispy.
Okay, we've got Atticus. I think Atticus might have been a caller before, but we'll see. We will see. Here we go.
And for some reason, can we just talk about his username being Atticus Mountford, brackets, Goat Simulator Payday DLC?
I can't explain that.
I think he's a fan of, or at least has seen some of my Payday stuff and has done that to annoy me, because Goat Simulator was the worst thing to happen to Payday. If you're a Payday fan, you understand.
Oh,
so,
really?
If he's trying to get a rise out of me, then it worked. My sonic screwdriver is rising on the camera.
Oh, here we go.
You need to stop. You need to stop. Play the call.
Here we go. Atticus, what do you got? Hello.
I'm legally required to say I love playing Payday and Red Out Your Life. Yes. Anyway, Bigeneration works because theoretically regeneration is just cell regeneration, and cells can split. That's why I think it works. Red Out Your Life. Yes, I definitely knew who you were before this podcast. Definitely. Yeah, beware the Zygons. I just spent $95 on Big Finish. Oh my god, man, what the hell?
That's
yes.
quite the call.
Splitting of cells very important. Much like the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Am I right, Crispy?
Yeah,
I also love
absolutely.
that. I just now realised, yeah, Atticus was the one who was like, oh yeah, Crispy, I love you, Crispy. And then I was like, what about me, man?
That's right. That's
Atticus,
right.
Like, in case it was not, but I think he knows this anyway, but it was a joke. It was a joke. I am a very sarcastic person. You'll get used to that. And Crispy's a very dirty person, so together,
and Crispy as well.
More dirty than Crispy this week, at the very least.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Why are you talking like a GTA San Andreas character?
Here we go.
CJ.
Gosh, this is what happens when we bulk record. Sorry, everyone.
We literally just finished the last recording. Apparently, like, someone ate blue Smarties in between, like, in the 5-minute gap, and we're just hyper now. I have no idea. But I like that. There you go, Crispy. What do you think? That from a scientific perspective, Bigeneration makes sense?
I think I would have appreciated that. Maybe if they gave Ruth Madley a line. Is she a scientific... She's a scientific advisor at UNIT, isn't she?
The Toymaker refers to her as the scientist.
Yeah. Get her to say something. Give. I don't think she has another line after the Bigeneration. Oh, she does. She's there later. But if she was on the helipad and said, oh, I guess that kind of makes sense. Maybe, cells can split.
Pop quiz, Crispy. Pop quiz.
Hello.
This is for everyone listening right now, okay? Random question. What number unit scientific advisor is Shirley Ann Bingham?
23.
Incorrect. 56.
That's what I said.
50, is it 57? 56. It's 56.
Troy doesn't know the answer.
56. It's 56.
Are we
So,
sure?
there you go. Did you get it right? Comment down below. If you didn't, pretend
Comment
you did
down
anyway, because
below.
you'll feel happy with yourself. So, Crispy.
Yeah, mate.
Next caller, please. We've got to talk about Bigeneration, but we're not getting into that too soon,
No,
because I don't want to be fighting you 5 minutes into the episode.
I want to hear arguments either side, and then we can discuss ourselves, and then promptly leave the studio because we had a bitter argument.
It wouldn't be the first time. It wouldn't be the first time.
It would be the first. Here we go. Who do you want? Who do you want, Troy?
You pick, my friend.
Okay. We have Julia here. Hello, Julia.
Let's listen.
3, 2, 1. Julia, what you got?
I like the concept of bigeneration. I like that the Doctor splits and seemingly is still the old version regenerating into the new version eventually. I just don't think it was explained in the show as it should have been. Like, there was people that were confused. I was quite confused at first as well. And I don't like the thought that other regenerations did the same thing.
Very well put.
I
Very
100% agree. Julie has just pointed out the two things about Bigeneration that I don't like.
List them.
That it's not well explained what happens when 14 regenerates, and that Russell has insinuated that every other Doctor at the same time has now bigenerated in like a ripple effect.
Correct. How
now, the second
weird.
The second one, I want this to be part of my discussion, so I may as well mention it now. As far as I'm concerned, if Russell wants to make good on that bigeneration comment that every Doctor is bigenerated, he'll put it into the show. If he doesn't put it into the show, to quote Nick Fury, I'm electing to ignore it, because I think it's rubbish. I think it's absolute garbage. The idea that, because his explanation, it was in the commentary for the Giggle, if you've not heard it, he was like, every version of the Doctor bigenerated is off travelling the stars. They don't need to have bigenerated to do that. Like multi-Doctor stories prove you could bump into any Doctor at base anyway without them having bigenerated. Like, for me, it was a really good, beautiful narrative thing to wrap up the first, 15, 18, however many years is I've lost track of modern Doctor Who. it makes sense for the giggle, whether you like it or not. Crispy's not the biggest fan, as we know, but like for me, it makes sense narratively. Okay? If you then try and link it to other doctors, that ruins it for me. That then means I just wish you hadn't done it altogether, because that's just changing up too much. What do you think, Crispy?
I think that the Doctor Who fandom is so funny. So unbelievably funny, because there has been so much discussion around Russell's comment, and that was a commentary.
Exactly.
That was a comment. The casual fan's not even going to care. The casual viewer's doesn't even know who Russell T Davies is.
Exactly. Don't give the casual fans that much credit. The casual fans won't even know that there's a commentary, let alone what he said in it.
I just find it so funny that us as Doctor Who fans, we latch onto every detail, every interview, every post, every picture. We latch on and fixate. That's just what happens.
Yeah.
But with the comment made by Russell, who knows? Sometimes when we do our watch-alongs on the Patreon that you should definitely check out right now, I say some stuff that's unhinged. I said some stuff this episode that's unhinged that I don't necessarily mean. So maybe he was just in that moment and it was more of a jokey thing. But he does sound pretty serious in it. I don't know. Well, I do know. Russell, what do you got cooking, huh? You going to bring it back? You going to bring By Generation back?
Into my soul there. What are you
going to bring By Generation back, Russell?
No.
What are you going to do? Think about it. Think about it before you do it.
If you stop looking at him like that, he'd be delighted.
Absolutely delighted.
Delighted.
Yeah, I think By Generation as a concept, maybe I'm more on board with, but we can get into that later. But the ripple effect, I think Troy and I can both agree. We don't believe it until we see it. Thank you.
Oh, so you didn't mind By Generation as a concept then?
I liked that comment. Who was that before from Atticus with the cells splitting? I was like, oh, that's cool. And we did just watch the Giggle, and I had a more pleasant viewing experience watching it with you this time than I did the first time watching it.
That's the effect I have on everyone watching Doctor Who.
Maybe everyone.
You know?
Everyone.
I don't just watch Doctor Who with you, man. I have friends.
Hey, I usually watch Doctor Who alone.
I don't see you as a friend. I see you as a business partner. No.
Whoa!
I joke. No, I wouldn't want to. That's why I was worried. I wouldn't want to speak for you because I thought you just didn't like it outright. But if you do like it, then I apologise. I retract my statement.
Likes a strong word. I can tolerate it.
There you go. All right, I stand by it then. Cool. Next caller. What has Majid got to say?
Okay, here we go. Let's press play on the call.
I think that is an interesting concept. Definitely was confused when I actually watched the Giggle for the first time. But then when I actually realized what was happening, that's when I started to like the idea. I still would have probably preferred a normal regeneration sequence, but it's not bad.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I think the episode would have been very different with a normal regeneration sequence. Probably a bit more emotional weight to the episode.
Definitely. Is it weird to say that I think the episode would have been worse if there was a normal regeneration sequence?
Yes.
I
Yes,
think
that is worse.
Like, part of the reason that I love the episode so much is that it's just a very wacky episode from start to finish. The Toymaker's antics, exploring his domain, the Spice Girls Spice Up Your Life dance, and then the By Generation, all of it is just Doctor Who, like, on something. It's just crazy. And I think that's part of why I love it so much, because there's not another episode like it. And I think if you change any element of it, it would reduce how wacky it is. I'm so used to it now, I can't imagine it differently. Which, of course, is silly to say because we can't see it differently, so it's all theoretical anyway, But yeah, I can appreciate Majid for having an open mind, you know?
Yeah, why is everyone so nice to By Generation today? I'm shocked.
Maybe you're on your own, Crispy. Maybe you need to lighten up. How about that, huh?
Maybe I need to giggle myself.
Yeah. Stop making jokes about planes and start making jokes about Doctor Who.
Fine. I can do that.
This is actually therapy for Crispy, in case you didn't realise. I'm his therapist.
I wish I could By Generate so one of me could be here and the other one in therapy. I wish I could do that right now. Gosh.
Damn, am I really hurting your soul that much, man?
No. Oh, crikey. But no, in all seriousness, I feel like, the Giggle does touch on themes of self-help and therapy, and that's something I'm actually very, very passionate towards. So just little notice for everyone. If you need to seek help, go and seek help. I think it's the best thing possible.
Is this another edition of Crispy trying to encourage a sponsor for the podcast?
No, it's not. It's not. Even
because I know
though
who you're thinking of.
I know exactly. Given my previous
and if that
videos.
brand, who definitely knows if anyone working for that brand is listening, you know we're thinking of you, and you know that we're thinking of you, and we know that you know that we're thinking of you. So reach out and we'll sponsor and do a sponsorship. Thank you very much.
Yes, that. But plus, yes, I think self-help and mental health is a very important topic, and I am glad that the Giggle touched on it. And anyway, we don't have to get all deep and meaningful, but yes, if someone wants to sponsor us, they can sponsor us. No, we just get deep and dark
in comedy with you. You know, it's all about the shock value. I can't believe you at that intro. That intro is going to go down as the most insane intro we ever do. I don't know how many episodes we'll do in this podcast, how long it'll last. Maybe it'll end tomorrow, maybe it'll end in 10 years.
Who knows?
But I can safely say, however long this podcast goes on, that is going to be the most out-of-pocket intro I've ever heard in my life.
That, Troy, I just think it'll be the one to beat.
It will be, but I don't think we'll manage it. I really don't.
Okay.
In my head, I was like, because I was trying to think, because we've done back-to-back recordings, I was sat there thinking, Crispy did a good intro, I'll think of a good one. I'm like, my pen analogy, that's a fun way of comparing to my generation. And Crispy just goes, what if a plane crashes? I'm still suffering, post-by generation, anxiety after that joke.
I apologize.
You should do. Disgraceful. All right. I think we should hear what Gracie has to say. What's Gracie got to say?
What you got? Hello? Gracie?
I love the way you always say hello at the start of them.
Hello?
Hello? Are you there? I don't
Gracie's
think
not working.
This time actually isn't working.
Oh, no. Gracie!
Crispy, refresh the page.
Okay, I've got it. Here we go. Gracie!
Hi, Troy and Crispy. I think that the bi-generation definitely could have been handled better, but maybe there'll be something further down the line that resolves that, or just fixes it for me. I think 14 didn't need a happy ending. I like my doctor's depressed. What can I say? I think he should have stayed around to get everyone's hopes up, and then they defeat the toy maker and he just fizzles away.
Ooh, interesting premise though.
She wants a Shrek 4 fade away at the end kind of thing, or something like that. Intriguing.
Gracie, you got me thinking there. Maybe the episode.
My doctor's depressed. What is it with everyone around me today being dark?
I like my doctor's depressed. That's a t-shirt. That's good.
I like my doctor's I like my mental health depressed.
No, we're being
so
positive.
Dark.
We're being
Why
positive.
Is this episode so dark?
Lift it up. Light it up.
Okay, here's some light at the camera.
Thank you.
Action.
Call me an eater of light. Very good.
I really won't do that.
Troy, what would you think if, as per Gracie's proposal, if the Doctor did bi-generate, but at the end of the episode, 14 fizzles away?
I think... in concept, it sounds good, but I think it would have been a bit too much and ahhing with whether is he going to go, is he not? It would have been a bit too boomerangy, because you have him thinking he's going to die, getting yourself thinking, oh, here we go, he's going to die. Then he doesn't, and you're like, oh, okay. And then he does again anyway. I just feel like he'd be bouncing a bit too much, and it would be I don't know, maybe slightly jarring. You've raised your hand. You don't have to raise your hand, Crispy. This is not a classroom. I'm not teaching you mathematics.
Troy, please be brought to the witness stand.
Oh, we're not doing this again.
Troy, please be brought to the witness stand.
No.
Okay, well, fine. I'm going to take you to court right now, son. Listen, punk. You just said...
That's what they say in court.
That's what they say. Listen.
I like to call a defendant to the stand. All right, punk, what was going on? What the flip were you doing?
I saw a TikTok the other day, and it was someone pretending to be in a courtroom, and they were like, in all honesty, Judge, you weren't there. So I thought that was funny. Anyway.
What do you think about the defendant's statement? I think that's cap, Your Honour.
Yeah, that's
it's just
Your
loads
Honor,
of really stupid
Your Honour, that's cap. So, Troy,
When
you
someone
just
asks
said
what I'm wearing.
you would have experienced some kind of whiplash if there was a regeneration, but then a not regeneration, and then a final regeneration.
Thank you. That was the word I couldn't think of. In my head, I was like, what's the word I'm thinking of? Whiplash. Thank you.
Yes, it was Whiplash. But need I remind you, let's just look back to, let me see my notes. Christmas Day 2013, a la Matt Smith's regeneration. That exact same scenario played out. We had a moment in the episode, and you can't deny that we thought Matt Smith was... You can deny?
Because it didn't go as far as that would have done in the Giggle. We didn't see him turn into Capaldi and then suddenly have Matt Smith there. It's a different situation.
Strike from the record.
You saw him in the old man makeup regenerating, but you didn't see the young face, and it kind of felt, that's a bit sudden, that's a bit weird, and then he was there and it was fine, and then it was Capaldi. It was still fluid, just with that little gap in the middle.
Okay, yeah, for sure. We didn't see Peter Capaldi's face. Let me just take you back to 23rd of November 2013. What do we see? We see Peter Capaldi's face. Thus, we are expecting the next Doctor. Thus, the first regeneration. We expect it to be the only regeneration. Thank you.
Crispy, can you please take what's out of your other hand out of your other hand? I see a big pile of straws that you're clutching at. You can stop at any point.
Let's take a caller.
That was you reaching, buddy. I'm sorry.
I
love you. I love you dearly. You're reaching there, my friend. You're reaching.
You
are hit Amazon Prime drama reacher. That is what you are now.
That is me. You know what? We had fun, though, and that's all that matters.
We had joy. We had fun.
We had a bit of fizzle.
We had seasons in the sun. Oh, forget it. Next caller.
Is that a song?
Yes.
What's the song?
It's ABBA, isn't it?
What? Sing it to me.
I'm not singing it. No, it's Westlife.
Serenade me.
What?
Serenade me.
I thought it was ABBA. Did ABBA not do it first?
Oh my gosh.
My brain is
This is what the people like.
Stuff. Forget it. Anyway, it's apparently Westlife, but I don't buy that. I reckon it's a cover as well. Whatever. Next caller, Crispy. Next caller.
Okay, we have Mitchell from Canada.
Canada, eh? What's he got to say, eh?
All right, boys. So I don't understand what bigeneration actually means. Is Shooty going to come from David Tennant? Like David Tennant's going to disappear, or are they two separate people? Is David Tennant going to die? Is he okay? And then Russell's talking about like it applies to past regenerations. What does any of this mean?
Poor Mitchell, they're just confused.
Yeah.
So
Russell,
am I, mate.
Look what you've done.
Look what you've made.
Look what
you've made our
me
friends
do.
in Canada confused. Some
Exactly.
Canada confusion going on right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mitchell is sat there right now like Toronto no.
Oh, very good.
That was terrible. I'm so sorry. If you live in Toronto, it's great, but if you don't, then I've really fluffed that. So they have split up. They are two different doctors almost now.
They've
You have
split
the
up.
14th
They're not
and the
together
15th
anymore.
Doctor.
They're not together
coexisting.
anymore.
15 technically came out of 14, but they are both their own unique standing things. It's like, here's a good example. I mean, I don't know why we're going to religion, but think about how Adam and Eve were created because was it,
they were creative. They were so
Adam was
creative.
made, and then Eve came out of Adam, but then they were both like coexisting humans that lived and were both their own people. It's like that.
My gosh.
15 came out of 14, and they're both coexisting. I don't know why Adam and Eve's where my brain went, but we're rolling with it.
But my question is, like, once Eve dies or whatever, she can regenerate. What about Adam? Is Adam going to regenerate?
Imagine the book of Genesis in the Bible, but with Doctor Who logic. Like, Adam eats the forbidden fruit and it makes him regenerate instead of just just being a sin. What is wrong with us?
I don't know.
We are mid-20-something-year-olds in our bedrooms talking about Doctor Who. Something went wrong in our life, man. Something went wrong.
Or something went very, very right.
No, it went wrong. It feels like it went wrong.
No, you're right. That didn't feel right saying that. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing brought up by Mitchell. What's going to happen to 14? What does it look like for 14, apart from an apparent spin-off show that's not going to happen? But keep going.
Oh, yeah, I meant to say that earlier. Like, 14's going to get a spin-off show. I can't remember his name. I think it might have been Gracie's. I still think, will it be answered at a later time? Yeah, in 14 spin-off. It's happening. Don't care what you say. I can't wait until it does happen, and then I can just sit here grinning at you. And there will be a 40-minute episode of this podcast where I just sit here grinning at the camera.
Sure.
That will be it.
Exclusive to Patreon.
Okay? It will be. So, yeah, that's the other thing, as I was saying. I don't get how, when 14 dies, does he become 15 and there's two 15s? Does he get absorbed into 15 because that healing is done? If he does, then that means that all of the grieving is pointless anyway, unless that grieving gets brought into our current Doctor and he adapts from it. But I thought the whole point of splitting off into the 14th Doctor and 15th was so that 15 didn't have the trauma. So I don't know. That isn't well explained. Like, for me, in my head, I'm imagining it as when the 14th Doctor's dead, he just dies, flat out. That makes more sense to me in my head. I don't think that's what they're going for, but that's what makes sense in my head and makes it less confusing. And headcanon is a wonderful thing,
very
folks.
confused. Yes,
so am I.
It is, but I'm just wondering, does that take away from Shooty? Part of the most like, even as Gracie said before, I like my Doctors depressed. I think what she meant to say is that I like the Doctors with the emotional weight. You know, we've gotten rid of the Time War, but now it seems like we're getting rid of the grief that the Doctor experienced from losing these companions, maybe. I feel like we might be losing that. It might be because of this fresh start. It might be because of we're going back to season 1, where, you know, getting a whole bunch of new trauma for our Doctor to experience. That might be what's happening.
I think things will still hang around. Like, there'll be references. The Doctor will remember things.
Except for Ruby Sunday, apparently.
Yeah, that weight will be lifted a little bit, in the sense that it won't be weighing him down every day, but it'll be in the back of his mind, and every now and again he'll think about it and be like, well, that sucks, kind of thing. Like an Adric. I mean, Adric has not been mentioned in Modern Doctor Who until the Giggle. So it's like, oh, the Doctor still remembers Adric.
Power of the Doctor, thank you very much.
Sorry. All right, but sorry.
From the Doctor, yes.
From the Doctor, and before anyone else says from the current Doctor, don't count hologram Peter Davison. Okay, so I know he said it, but we're talking current, present Doctor.
I'm sure Adric's mentioned in Classic Who post.
No, I mean in modern. I'm talking about in modern.
In modern,
I mean, like once
probably.
been enough of a time passed, they still remember, but it's not brought up as much. So like the immediate heavy weight is taken away by 14, and 15 just remembers the names and goes, oh yeah, that's a bit sad. All right, let's go travel with Ruby. In a more serious way than that, but you get the idea. That's how I see it.
For sure.
Again, like, what is with the GTA San Andreas? Like, I feel like you're about to tell me you want 2 number 9s, a number 9 large, a number 6 with extra dip, 2 number 7s. I've got it wrong. No, I normally have that quote memorized.
Yeah,
this is like one of the most infamous.
That.
Oh my god. Number 6 with extra dip, a number 7, and then it's 2 number 45s, 1 with cheese and a large soda. If you don't get that reference, don't worry. I'm just painfully nerdy, and I remember just ridiculous quotes.
Troy being painfully nerdy and remembering ridiculous quotes.
You wouldn't look at my room and think it, would you? You wouldn't think it.
Not me. Not me. No, that's for sure.
Not at all. Not at all. Crispy, how many calls have we got time for?
1 or 2 more.
I think we do 2 more.
Okay.
Do you know what? I have to admit, we do say keep the messages to 30 seconds because we don't like to overrun it. But I'm really tempted, for the sake of my mum, because of how much she loves the film, to hear what Coraline has to say.
Oh.
It's a long message. And again, I would like to reinforce, please do try and aim for 30 sequends. I won't murder you or something. That's very drastic. But like, we won't kill you if you go over 30, but try to keep it 2, please.
No,
but Coraline,
fine.
Just this once, we'll lend you our ears for a whole minute. What have you got to say about bi-generation?
Hi. So I'm having trouble accepting it, if I'm being honest. I acknowledge there's some good that came with it. The 10th Doctor wanted to stay. 13th was very much like, I want more time in her last episode, so I'm happy for the Doctor. Also, I'm glad that they found a way to explain why maybe the 15th Doctor is more well-adjusted than previous Doctors. But it felt like it negated, in a way, all the heartbreak that came with previous regenerations. Like, all that hurt was for nothing because there was another way. Also, I didn't like that they chose one Doctor to stay on because it felt like they were saying to us, the other Doctors are less valued, are less important, and I didn't like that.
Wow, that's a good message. That is a great message. That's a very interesting point, bringing up the fact that, is Russell playing favourites even more so? We discussed is Russell playing favourites when David Tennant was confirmed to come back and is now the only Doctor that came back in the 60th, and now seems to be staying on post 60th. What's all that about, Troy?
Look, you'd be foolish to deny that there isn't some favoritism for David Tennant in Doctor Who. Like, you would be foolish to deny it. As much as I love the man, he ate a cake with my face on, and I'll never shut up about it. Everyone's sick of me saying it. I'm not sick of saying it though. In fact, it's almost a year since that episode ended. In fact, by the time this comes out, it'll be over a year, Crispy. Can you believe that?
Wow! Congratulations.
Mad. However, it is not at all foolish to assume there is some favoritism there. I don't doubt it at all. The thing is, not only is David Tennant arguably the best Doctor to a lot of people, he's also the most well-known Doctor in the modern era. He's also the man that brings a lot of bums onto seats. So, unfortunately, it comes with the territory that Doctor will get more favoritism, and then that obviously rubs people up the wrong way if they don't feel as strongly about him, or even if they do and they don't like the favoritism. That's perfectly valid. So, like, I'm not going to play the wool over your eyes there. I think you bang on that there is some... Like, it is very telling that the Doctor who stays on is the David Tennant one. I do get that. But it's almost poetic in a way that the Doctor that was the most well-loved, like, almost completely objectively, of the modern era is the face that gets to wrap up that era. I think it does work poetically, but I do understand the criticisms of favoritism, and I wouldn't dare argue with it. I personally love it. I lapped it up. But I can get the other side. I can fully get it.
Wow. That was very well put, Troy.
Thank you.
That was very well put.
Can I say one more thing as well, Crispy?
For sure.
I'm mate. I was about to have a really nice moment there, and you
Sorry. No, that was accidental too.
I just want to say, just purely from all the calls we've had today, and especially Coraline's, I mean, not just the accent, but also the email half gives it away. The fact that we've had a French caller, Canadian, I think I heard a Welsh accent earlier. I really appreciate that we're getting callers from quite literally all over time and space. We said it in the intro.
Yeah.
But, like, this is really cool. I'm really enjoying just it not just being loads of British. Yeah, I love British people. I love you all. I'm just saying I really like the diversity here. This is really, really cool. I'm really enjoying that.
It is pretty cool.
I just thought I'd mention it.
No,
so.
that is worthwhile. And maybe if you're listening to this and you want to call in a future episode, say where you're from. Just tell us where you're from. Tell us where you're calling from.
Tell us your country if you want to, yeah.
Tell
us your address
great.
and the 16 digits on the front of your card,
Correct.
the expiring month and year, 3 digits on the back. That'd be really useful.
We just want to get to know you guys.
Your AOL password, and whatever you want to share, you know. Please do not do any of that. I need to say that for legal reasons. Do not do that.
That is a
But
jest.
do tell us what country you're from if you fancy it. That's
fine. We'd
That's
love to, because I feel like we it's just nice that people are listening from all around. That means a lot.
Yeah,
that does mean a lot
really
to
like
us. So
that.
thanks, guys.
So
thanks for listening.
There's a bit of a soppy moment, and I will say as well, my mum will love that even more. She loves France and just like the French language. So
oh, really?
Someone being Coraline, who is French, she is probably on cloud 9 right now.
Oh, very good, very good.
If you haven't seen Coraline, watch it. It's a very good film. Anyway,
I haven't seen it.
All right, so we're going to do a watch along on the Patreon.
Yeah.
We should watch it sometime. Seriously, I'll bring my mum along, or we can watch it on a call.
We'll watch it. Yeah, fun.
All right, one more caller, Crispy. You pick who is going to close out our Bi-Generation episode.
Oh gosh, man, that's so much pressure. I don't know if I could do it. I don't know. Oh gosh, have we listened to this individual here?
We have not.
Okay, here we go. This is Tom Lawrence. Hoping for the best.
Hey guys, Tom from North Yorkshire here. So, Bi-Generation. Do I love it? No. But have I come to terms with it? Yes, I have. And this is something that we, as a fan base, as viewers, we are just kind of going to have to look at it and go, okay, let's take it and let's move on. A la Timeless Child, a la War Doctor, a la Fugitive Doctor, these huge fundamental changes that, yeah, we can have opinions, but at the end of the day, we've just kind of got to live with it. It's there. Let's move on. Let's all enjoy the show. Lovely stuff. Cheers, guys.
Wow. What
I have
what
nothing
a
to add to
final...
that. I think that's a great way to end it.
That is you could have wrapped up the episode yourself there, Tom. Well done.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Next time, record the outro in there and we'll use it, all right?
Yeah, we will. Yeah, wow. That was really
Perfect.
well put.
Yeah, at the end of the day...
Tom said where they were from right at the start as well.
At the end of the day, I think Tom is a time traveller because he heard that, went back in time and submitted a call.
Wow.
So, no, yeah. A very good way to close it out is to say, do you know what? These debates are fun. They're interesting. We all love funny time travel show. But at the end of the day, it's not that deep.
It's not that deep, fam. It's not that deep, fam.
And we need to wrap up so Crispy starts making dark jokes and talking like a 1990s gangster.
For sure.
Stop. Bro thinks he's Ice Cube or something. I don't know what's happening here. Is this Ride Along? Am I Kevin Hart? Are you Ice Cube? What's happening here?
Oh, that explains our dynamic pretty well.
How? Do explain.
Because you are the funny guy, and I'm the more stern, serious man with a rap career.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening to this episode of Who's There, a Doctor Who podcast. We greatly appreciate it. Next week, well, as always, as we like to say, things can change. But our next episode, Crispy, do you want to know what it is?
Oh, well, yes, the current plans. As we've said, things can change.
It can. Is we want to know what everyone's first episode of Doctor Who is. And if my memory is correct, no, I think the calling might have changed by then. Always keep an eye on SpeakPipe for what the current calling topic is. But I think this one will be up for longer than the others, so we should get some good opinions in, hopefully.
I'm keen.
Some good answers, I should say. But we're going to wrap it up, because in 4 minutes, I'm going to go watch The Apprentice. I'm very excited. Shout out UKTV. I like watching hopeful entrepreneurs make idiots out of themselves. It's cinema. It's cinema.
Absolutely cinema.
Thank you all very much for watching. Crispy, any closing comments? Keep yours to 30 seconds, please.
I'd just like to apologise for the intro, and bye generation, more like bye generation. It doesn't matter. It will see if there's any future repercussions. I dare Russell to do something with it, and then we can all come back and have another episode about this. But today,
I'm going to hold
was fun.
2 Sonics in my hand to say well done to that.
Thank you so much. Wow. Just wow. That's the perfect way to end the episode.
My Sonic is smiling at you.
That's fantastic.
And on audio, that sounds very weird. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening to this episode. We'll see you all next time. Until then, it's goodbye from Crispy.
Bye.
And it's goodbye from me. Alon Z, baby.
Faux show.